Good morning. I'm Mrs. Hershberger, and welcome to my U.S. History 1 class. Today we're going to be starting a new unit, which is going to be on the Constitution and how America's government works. With that being said, who can raise their hand and tell me what we were learning about last time? Yes. The Revolutionary War. And who can share with me why is the Revolutionary War significant today? Yes.
We were the only country, the first country,
right.
stood up to the ruler.
Okay, so remember, if there's one thing I need you to remember from this class, if there's one thing I want you to know, that the United States of America used to be the 13 colonies and then took on the most powerful country in the world. And they shouldn't have won, but did they? Yes. And then there's this moment of utter panic. And that's where we're at now. Because again, when the founders signed the Declaration of Independence, were any of them happy? No. Were they scared? Yes. Because who can raise their hand and share with me what did they expect to have happen to them? Natalie. Yes, because when you send a letter to the king, the most powerful man in the world, saying, you are terrible and here is why, normally that's how that story goes. We didn't have an army. There wasn't any money. The colonies couldn't even agree. Remember, 1774 is the very first time that they all come together. So how can a bunch of colonies defeat the most powerful army in the world? Should it have happened? No, not at all. And they get France's help, and through excellent leadership, it does happen. And now, we win. So you had a warm-up when you came in, and some of you guys did it. It's all good. Honesty. Your warm-up was to write down what the colonies did not like about England or Great Britain at this time. Let's take a minute, and I want you to turn to the people around you and come up with 4 as a group. So talk to each other now.
I just worded it differently. The Tea Act, right?
Yeah, Tea Act, Stamp Act, and then Proclamation.
Yeah, and they had no representation in Parliament. Yeah. So then, Proclamation.
They didn't like the King of England. They didn't like taxes. They didn't like the Proclamation of 1763.
And the colonies. So
what are some 4 really important stuff?
I'd say the tax them.
Yeah, and no representation in Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Like merchants.
not allowed to cross Appalachian.
All righty. Go ahead and have a seat now that we've had a chance to talk about it. Come up with some. Before we start sharing what you guys have written down, and again, you wrote down what the colonists do not like, what makes them unhappy. Unhappy face. The reason for this exercise, I'll tell you where we're going first, so that way you know. What we're going to be learning today is one of the most confusing and often misunderstood parts of my class. I know. However, it is also one of the most simple. And I will say, a lot of adults don't know this, and they don't understand it, and they're confused by it. But, again, my goal is that today you're going to be able to understand it crystal clear. So that's where we're going. So, let's start off. What do the colonists not like about Great Britain? Give me one.
Proclamation.
Okay, and what did the proclamation say?
That the colonists weren't allowed to have any West movement
Okay, so England / Great Britain is bossy. We don't like that. Next.
No representation in Parliament.
Okay. No representation. Representation. We'll get to why that word is so long in a second. And what specifically bothers us when we don't have representation? Angie.
Nobody could defend us.
Okay, so no one can defend us, yeah?
Taxes.
Taxes. Boo. Taxes. We do not like taxes. What else do we not like? Yes.
The Quartering Act.
Okay, so the Quartering Act, that goes with England back as being bossy. Can you tell me, what does the Quartering Act say?
Soldiers are allowed to go into colonists' homes out there.
Right, because England is bossy. We don't like that. Yes.
They didn't like to be monitored by royal governors.
Right. They don't like the governors. Governors. No, we don't like them. What else don't we like?
English troops in the colonies.
Thank you. We don't like the soldiers. We don't like the troops marching around in their red coats telling us what to do.
England is strict over trade.
Thank you. We do not like how strict over trade they are. So strict over trade. I'm out of room, but what else do we have? Yes.
England had control of voting the legislators.
Right. So the governors are controlling the laws. Governors over laws. I'll just put that. All right. What else don't we like?
Only England is allowed to produce fabrics.
Right. Because again, they have strict control over trade. The colonies, their manufacturing is stopped. They're not allowed to invent or engineer anything. They have to participate with Europe, and they don't like that. Okay. So we have a list of what the colonists do not like. This leads to a war where we should not have won. But we do. And now England leaves, and they're like, all right, fine, good luck. And we're just like, oh. Kind of like how a lot of classes, kids are like, man, why can't the teacher just leave? And then we could do what we want. And then the teacher leaves, everybody's like, now what do we do? All right, so we're on our own now. Remember, the colonies were like a rebellious teenager. They're fighting back against their parents. I hate you. You're terrible. I want to be free. And the parents say, fine, go ahead. So we have to come up with some new rules. Okay, well, this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. Let's look at what they do not like, and I want you to tell me, what are the new rules going to be? Give me one.
They get their own government.
Well, remember, they want the legislatures to do what they want, so we're going to have legislator, that looks weird. Legislatures are strong. No governors. Okay. Next, Joseph.
Freedom of speech.
Okay, so we're going to have freedom of speech. That kind of goes with the governors, because remember, they were the ones that would be controlling. Covey.
The government derives its power from the people.
Okay, so again, we'll say that we want a weak government. We don't want the government getting all bossy. So weak national government. We don't want them telling us what to do. Yes?
Westward movement.
Okay, so we want to be able to go where we want. That's going to be weak national government. No, that's good. Yeah?
That no troops
No army. Absolutely not. Because if you have an army, then the government all of a sudden can show up at your house. So no army. Okay?
no more taxes.
Absolutely not. That was outrageous. Kind of like if the teacher left and then there'd be like no more homework or projects, period. None. So no taxes. Exclamation point. What else don't we want, Angie?
Strict control over trade.
Okay. I'm going to say regulation. No regulation. Always looks weird when I write it on the board. No regulation over trade. None. If Maryland wants to trade with Spain, Maryland's going to trade with Spain, period. Will?
Tons of representation.
Okay. Legislators are strong. No governors.
We can make our own goods.
Okay, so manufacturing, so no regulation over trade. That's good. Yes.
Freedom of speech, religion, and the press.
All right. So we're going to have basic freedoms. So freedom, I'll put to criticize the government. Freedom to complain. How's that? Nice freedom. Yeah.
I have a question. Was Georgia like in on it now?
Yes, Georgia's in on it now.
So then, was it like united?
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm getting there. All right, Covey?
Citizens are entitled to certain unalienable rights.
Okay, so, well, that goes back to weak national government. The government's not going to tell people what to do, because do we like that? No, we fought a whole war about it. So these are our new rules. Yay, we finally got what we wanted. Isn't that exciting? Yeah? Good. Now this is where it gets a little weird. Okay? When they declare independence, on the Declaration of Independence, united in United States is not capitalized. We were known as the states of America, who just happened to be next to each other. Okay. Now, do you think there might be any problems with these new rules? What problem might we see? Yes.
Everyone wants to have their own laws in their own state.
Ah, so it's a weak national government. Maybe all of the states, not so united. They start to fall apart. What else might
They
happen?
have the freedom to complain. They have like 1,000 new ideas and new complaints.
All of a sudden, everybody thinks they're in charge. Whoa, hold on here. Okay, what else?
They start rebelling against each other.
All right, so there's going to be a fighting. And do we have an army? No, so people are like, just no, stop, don't fight. How's that going to go? Not well. Yes. All right, so there's no taxes. Well, hold on here. All the crazy uncles and dads who were part of the militias, who've been fighting, ready to take out the redcoats, they want to get paid. Hold on a second. If there's no taxes, can we pay George Washington? No. You think they might get angry about that? So you go fight for 4 years. Nah, man, we ain't got the money, sorry. Thank you. It's been really great, really helpful. We appreciate you. Okay. So you have a bunch of people with guns who know how to fight who aren't getting paid. That'll go over well. And when they get angry, do we have an army to stop them? No. Sounds like a great time, doesn't it? All right. What other problems do we see? Angie.
There's no strict control over the trade.
Right. So Maryland, let's just imagine hypothetically that Maryland's got a problem with New York. They feel that when they traded tobacco and cotton to New York, that New York didn't send the right amount. So now you got Maryland fighting New York. Spoiler alert, that's going to happen later. We'll deal with that. But is there any army to tell Maryland to knock it off? No. Is there any strong national government to say, you need to act right? No. You just have Maryland getting ready to throw down. Because again, are we united? No. Because as you said, from the very beginning, the Southerners weren't totally on board. They're like, whoa, 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 we like England. What is this drama? And Massachusetts is like, let's do this. So united, not so much. So this is what this all means. These new rules, well, I'll write it up here. These new rules have a name. The name is the Articles of Confederation. I hear something, but I don't see a hand. It must be the voices again. No hand? Yes, Ayush. Ah, so where have you heard Confederate before? From the Confederate States of America, which is known as the Confederacy, which they lose. Spoiler alert, by the way. The States of America is a confederation is a loose agreement. We don't have to be friends, we're just in the same group. You do your thing, I do mine, I'll see you on the due date. We don't need to talk. That's a confederation. That is where you have a weak national government. Confederations typically do not work because people start fighting and there's no teacher to tell them to knock it off. This is our first government. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Our very first government is the Articles of Confederation, which is a total failure. Total failure. Because everything you guys said happened. Now think about that. You guys are what, 12? You, 11. Pardon me. 12/11. You guys were able to anticipate what are going to be the new rules. And you were able to foresee the future. Y'all know you were smart. Did you know you were that smart? And foresee the future, being like, wait a minute, now that I think about it, there's going to be some problems here. The adults, our founding fathers, didn't get that. They made it this far, they didn't see how this was going to be an issue. So I'm not saying you're smarter than Thomas Jefferson, but this lasts for about 11 years. Ooh. Ooh. So we have no army for 11 years, no taxes for 11 years, a weak national government for 11 years. We have a Congress, but we don't have a president. We don't have a court system. That's going to go over well. We got nothing. People are allowed to complain. People can make treaties wherever they want. No one actually is running the show. You just have Maryland and New York trying to fight each other to figure it out. Like a middle school group project. Without a teacher. 11 years of that. Doesn't go over too well. So, the crux of our unit is we have the Articles of Confederation, and then they are thrown out secretly. And then they say, we need something new, which is going to be the Constitution. If you can understand that the Articles of Confederation is version 1.0 and the Constitution is version 2.0, you will be ahead of more adults in this country than we can shake a stick at. That's what our unit is going to be about. Literally, we're going to look at what happened in version 1.0, why it was bad, and then how do we fix it. I'm Mrs. Hershberger. Thanks so much for joining our class today and learning about the Articles of Confederation. Go!